Before being a photojournalist, you have to be a nice person. You have to speak with people, you have to listen to people. Because as a reporter, you're not there to speak. You're there maybe to ask some questions, but you're there to listen, to see, and then take picture. Well, my name is Emiliano Capozoli. I'm a photojournalist, journalist, and fixer based in Brazil. I have like almost 20 years of photojournalism. I work mostly for international, especially French TV channels, doing fixing, production, sometimes even like filming as well when they need. And I produce organic coffee. I start my relationship with photojournalism with journalism. So in the beginning I thought that I would be a reporter, like text reporter, and because actually my parents, they are journalists as well, so my school was at home. And on the same time, when I was like 17, 16, I started taking pictures like of my life. In this period, we didn't have mobile phones or things like that. So I used to have my old analog camera. Then I started like taking pictures, the holidays, and fall in love with journalism. And then one day, I was like always calling my father in the newspaper, and one day he told me that he would not go to the outside, like make interviews in the street. And he was like mostly working by telephone. And I was like, I don't want this, you know, because if I want to be a journalist, it's because I want to be in the street. I want to speak with people and like have a relationship with them. And then I mix like photography, journalism, and said, wow, the photographer, like the photojournalist, have to be in the field. And then what was this mix? So I think it's important to have everything, like information, this moment, like this important moment, and a little bit of luck. You know, you have to be lucky, and also again curious. You have to go to see. I remember once when I was starting taking pictures, Lula was president, like it was the second time that he was president, and every time that he came to São Paulo, we used to have like a journalist in front of his house, just waiting. And one day I was leaving, like finally after 10 hours, I was coming back to the newspaper and I saw like a bus stop and a lot of people around. And I was like, what is happening? And I asked the driver to stop. And I had like a small camera with me because it was my analogic camera in the beginning. And I listened to someone and I heard someone saying that there was a robber inside of the bus. So basically a guy wanted to rob the bus. And everybody that was in the bus noticed that he didn't have a gun with him. So they took him. I passed exactly in this moment. And I started taking pictures. And I turned around the bus. And a guy asked me if I want help to go up to the driver's window. And the robber, the supposed man that was a robber, was like blocked front window. The driver was holding him. And I started taking picture of him through the window. And he saw me and he slapped my camera. And I got this picture exactly the moment that was like, and it was next day like the cover of the newspaper. And just because like I was curious and I wanted to stop and see what was going on because I could just come back home. So I think journalism is this mix, like you have to be every time attentive and curious and not lazy at all. If you're photojournalism, you can't be lazy, man. As a freelancer in 2007, I was living in Paris, and I remember the accident that happened in a flight between Rio and Paris. So 7 days after the accident, they had like a big mess in Notre Dame. Sarkozy would go, like a lot of people and a lot of journalists. And in the morning, I passed there and I saw already like the spot for journalists, the spot for public, everybody, security and everything. And I thought, if I go there, they're gonna be better and faster than me. So I have to do something different. There is the church, like an open area, and just in front of the church, there is like the police department of France, the national police. So I passed there and I asked the guy, the attaché de presse, I'm a journalist from Brazil. Would you mind to allow me to go on the top to take a different picture there And the guy said, yeah, no problem, you can come. Like, and I took like the facade, the front, and I took this picture, and it was funny because when we opened the window just in front of them, like 30 seconds later, his phone rang, and someone, like the security, was in the church looking to us, call and say, what the hell am I doing? Because I was like with a black staff pointing to people downstairs. It could be a gun. And the guy said, can you see 2 black points? There are 2 guys there, they call me, they're asking me what the hell we are doing here, but it's fine, they will not shut us. But the point was, I took a picture different of everybody's pictures, and again I did the cover of the newspaper on the next day, because I tried to take a different way of like 25 photographers that were like in front of the church. So as again, like, have to be attentive, we have to be curious and try to do things different from the others, because nowadays there are a lot of photographers. So if you don't do this, you're gonna be just another one. The most important thing is always respect people, you know, because I bring this to my life. It's like when you can't feel what people are feeling, just to stop for a moment and change the rules. Imagine that you are on their place and they are taking picture of you, they are taking picture of a body of your son, they are taking picture of... So on the other hand, as a photojournalist, we have to take these pictures. You know, always we have to respect people, but sometimes we can't even have a relationship with these people, with this person especially, because sometimes we are far away, we can't reach them. So I think the most important thing is respect people, and also what image you're gonna pass away, you're gonna pass to the other person, to the other people, the public that will see this, and be 1 out of 10 other photographers in the middle. So, but respect is the base. Now, well, everything in the world, like informations, images, and everything, much more quick than before. For example, I took a picture of the guy robbing the bus. I was using film, so I had to come back to the newspaper, develop this, and depending on the time, if it was really close to the moment that they're gonna close the newspaper, maybe my picture wouldn't be published because of the time. Nowadays, if you think, for example, about Olympic Games or World Cup, I remember that I was in shooting Paralympic Games in London 2012, and I saw like the highest level of technology in the photojournalism. Like they had like cameras under the water, like inside of the pool, linked with cables. So the guy took a picture, a couple of seconds, the picture was already in the desktop of the editor, in a couple of minutes around the world. So I think the big difference is the speed of the world, actually. So I think it's basically this. In 2019, during Bolsonaro's government in Brazil, we had like a lot of problems. And especially we had one day in São Paulo, what we call the black rain. Basically, because of a lot of deforestation and fires in Amazon, the black smoke flew from Amazon to São Paulo, and one day we had this black rain in São Paulo, and everybody was like desperate that we were coming close to the end of the world. And I went to Amazon with another reporter to do a reportage about the burns, the fire in Amazon that was like high levels during the Bolsonaro government. So it was a group of farmers that organized in a WhatsApp group, the day of the fire, which means that they would put fire in a lot of areas on the same day to support Bolsonaro, to say to Bolsonaro that they were with him. And we discovered this. We even went to this WhatsApp group and we discovered this. And we published like a big reportage in a rural magazine, written by them actually, by the farmers. So we discovered and we did like a big reportage. And it changed a lot because when we published this report, the The Minister of the Justice on this period was Sérgio Moro. He had Bolsonaro called him and they tried to send the army to the Amazon to fight against this fire, and they sent a little bit of money to try to convince people that they were doing something okay. But basically, this reportage, this denounced a lot of things changed, like ministers, they had to give to the population a reply, a response, and about what was happening. And of course they denied everything, but they sent the army there to pretend that they were doing something. It was like journalists spread this information, and it became like the day of the fire's day in Brazil, 2000. It was August 2019. Well, basically, I would say there are two ways that I prepare myself. First of all, keep my therapy update, like the base of the life. And then, when I'm shooting, I have my camera to protect myself. Like, I use my camera to protect myself psychologically, which means that when I'm shooting something like really sad, really violent or something like that, I'm concentrate in taking pictures, I'm concentrate the light, people and everything that is going on. If I stop thinking about this and start thinking about people that I'm shooting, I'm gonna cry. I always use the example of a photographer from the Bang Bang Club, about the story about Kevin Carter, a picture that he took of a bird that was waiting for a child to die to eat him, and everybody was complaining about his attitude. He didn't do anything to the boy, and he just took a picture of the bird waiting for him. And what happened is, from my point of view, as a photojournalist, you are there to take pictures, so you're gonna save and help people through your pictures. There are some cases that you have to stop taking pictures and help people, but normally as a photojournalist, I'm there to take pictures, and I believe that my pictures will help people, instead of just, because I'm not a doctor, I can't help people if I see someone dying. Maybe I can, but maybe not enough, so I stay in the middle. So as a photojournalist, if I'm on the field, I have my camera and my therapy to protect myself. In the beginning, I was trying to have with me a lot of things, and it was heavy as well. And nowadays, getting old, I prefer to use one or two lenses. If I would choose just one lens to be with me all the time, is that one that I use more is the 35mm 1.4. That is beautiful. And also, you have to be close to the people. If your picture is not good enough, it's because you're not close enough. Robert Capa. Before being a photojournalist, you have to be a nice person. You have to speak with people, you have to listen to people. Because as a reporter, you're not there to speak. You're there maybe to ask some questions, but you're there to listen, to see, and then take picture. When you come to the field to take picture of the people, you have to understand. So more than techniques that you can learn watching on YouTube and checking your camera, I think the most important technique is being a nice human being. Speak with people, listen to the people, because you have to learn with them, and you as a reporter, you have to report information. So if you keep speaking, you don't listen to them. And also, I know that I speak a lot, I talk a lot, but I learned that we have 2 years and 1 month, so we have to listen twice more than we speak. When I was young, I wanted to photograph a war. I'm not sure why, maybe because of my history, because we photograph what we are, that's if we are together, close, and we are taking the same picture with the same camera, your picture will be different than mine because you saw different films, you have a different background than me and then the other photographers as well. So in the beginning, I wanted to be a war photographer, but nowadays, not anymore. I wanted to visit and photograph and understand more about Amazon, and I'm doing this as a reporter, as a fixer, and as a photographer as well. But I don't know if I have like one topic that I wanted to shoot. I passed through Paralympic Games, some like refugee camps in Africa during the Libya's war, important events like when the Pope, the Francisco, was chosen in Italy, I was there, president visits, football matches, maybe a World Cup, even if I'm not like super fan of sports, but I would say a World Cup because of the atmosphere, more than only the match, but it's like country doing a big party around the football and everything. I would say maybe this.